everybody, and uh, this is a review of of my mobile phone, which is quite old now. If you read the thumbnail, so this phone is about 14 years and 1 month old. It's this is quite an old phone, and it's really very slim. It's about 14 years and 1 month old. This is the age of this cell phone today, and it's really slim. If you see this gadget, this device is very slim. Can you believe that? Coming from the year 2011, this thing was crazy. This is the Sony Experia Arc. If you can read it, it's the Sony Experia Arc. Quite a slim device, a slim gadget, which looks incredible. It's good to hold. It has a nice feeling to it. It's quite sophisticated. It's you feel very premium when you hold this thing. It feels very premium. It's very good. It's very good actually. Feels nice. So anyways, this device in hand, what I have here, so Sony Experia Arc. This is the Sony Experia Arc HD. If the camera can see, it's written over there, HD, high definition. That's a single lens, and that's a flashlight over here. So you see a flashlight and a single lens. So fits in my hand, fits in my palm. So Sony Experia or Sony Ericsson Experia Arc, the technical name of this model was LT15i. So this was LT15i, the technical name of this mobile phone, and this had a single lens. If you see, that's the lens, and it says HD, high definition, and that is a flashlight, the Xperia series from Sony. So this was launched in India during the year 2011. So the Sony Ericsson Experia Arc models were officially launched in India in the month of April. So 7th of April 2011, this device was launched, and I had this device with me when it was launched, and I kept it with me in a very nice and gentle manner. I just still have it fresh, looks like brand new. Hello viewer, how are you? Great to see you. Thank you over there, Bharti. So anyways, this phone, it was released alongside the gaming focused Sony Ericsson Xperia Play at that price, which was 32,000 Indian rupees that time for this device. This was a bomb coming in the year 2011 for Indian 32,000 rupees. So if I calculate the price, so this phone was actually, I'd say, about 750 US dollars. So this device was about 750 US dollars in the year 2011, and this was the most premium phone of of that era, of that time. And there was the headphone slot. If I show you, wait, so see, so this was the headphone slot, the headphone earpiece jack. If you can see the rounded part, this was the headphone jack. It had the function keys. This was the home button over here. That's the home button. This was the back button of the device, the back button. And this was the switching button for where you can flip your apps. So the good thing about this phone was it had an excellent high definition camera, which was only 720 megapixels. So we did not have a full high definition. It was only 720 megapixels. So the device was part of Sony's flagship lineup for 2011, featuring the Android 2.3 Gingerbread platform. So it had a 2003 platform for the Android phone that time. And this was launched during a press event in New Delhi in India. So, and about the availability, it became available in the retail stores um, at New Delhi right after the launch. And the maximum price was 32,000 Indian rupees that time for this device. So what a great device, a great piece of device, a wonderful gadget to have. And it still feels good holding this device after 14 years and 1 month of ownership. I can say this device is amazing. It's very slim. If you notice, this device is very sleek, very slim. So if you notice the thickness, it's very sleek, very slim over here. So this device, if we come back to 2026, we have the iPhone Air, which is about as slim as this, which is, I guess it's going to be a bit sleeker than this, but Sony had it 8.4 millimeter thickness of this phone back in the year 2011, and Apple has come with the iPhone Air, which is now their slimmest phone. So I would say hats off to Sony for the remarkable efforts done for this phone. And this phone was there in the Indian market initially. The device had three colors, which was the midnight blue, the misty silver, and I guess a white, uh, as I can remember. So this phone was a massive success. The sound quality was excellent. It had a premium sound quality with the 3.5 jack for the headphone. So this was amazing. And if I talk about some technical details of this device had a 4.2-inch LED, backlit LED reality display with a resolution of 480 by 854 megapixels. So 480 by 854 pixels was the LED display resolution of the screen, which is wonderful. So if I've put any fingerprints, let me wipe it and clean it here. Okay, now it looks clean. All right, looks clean. I like to keep my gadgets clean, so looks nice. So this was a 4.2 LED backlit LCD reality display with a resolution of 450 by 854 megapixels for the screen, and the processor was powered by 1 gigahertz single core Qualcomm Snapdragon, which was quite powerful, which was quite fast enough for this device at that time in the year 2011. So this was a big thing Sony came up with, and as you can see, read the branding, it says Sony Ericsson. If the camera is doing justice, so you can read the branding Sony Ericsson. And the memory and storage for this mobile phone included 512 megapixels of RAM, approximately 320 megapixels of user available storage. That's all. That's all it had. Only 320 megapixels of storage, which is nothing if you compare the phones coming in presently in the year 2026. So this little beauty had a little capacity, only 320 megapixels of internal storage. That's all it had. And it was often cited as up to 1 or GB or 2 GB of flash memory. So external memory cards were used, those flash memory cards, for increasing the capacity, and the storage was expandable up to 32 gigabyte to 32 GBs of via micro SD card slot. So this thing was born with the micro SD card slot, and is amazing. Anyways, the camera on this phone features a 8.1 autofocus rear camera. So this is the, let me show you, this is the rear camera. So the rear camera over here is 8.1 megapixel camera for this device, with LED flash, which you can see hopefully on your screens. So that's the camera. This is the camera, and this is the flash. So this is the flash, this is the camera, which is a HD camera as they said, but this was only a small one of 720 megapixels, I believe. So it's a very cute phone, and the best thing about it was in the year 2011 in India, this phone only supported the 3G network, the 3G. So this phone is a 3G from Sony. This is a small one, it's only a 3G, and this phone was having a very good network reception. When I was using this phone was fantastic. The loudspeaker, the earpiece was excellent. The ports include a micro HDMI, if I can show you from the side of the phone. This is the micro HD, this one, if you can see. The port over here is a micro HDMI port for external displays, a micro USB 2.0 for charging and data, and a standard 3.5 millimeter headphone jack over here. So this is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Talking about the phone design, looks very sleek. It has dimensions of 125 into 63 into 8.4, which is this part. This is the sleekest part. The best beauty part of this phone is 8.5 megapixels for this device. This is extremely lightweight mobile phone. It's about 117 grams, which is about 117 grams. The color for this phone originally was launched in a midnight blue and a misty silver. So this is a misty silver for this phone. And if I compare it with a Samsung phone which came to me in the year 2024, you can see the size of this phone against the Samsung mobile phone. See, my Samsung mobile phone can swallow this thing, and the Samsung phone has 3 cameras, the Sony phone has only 1 camera, and this is the difference. This is 2024, this is 2011. So this is 2011, this is 2024. So you can see how compact this phone was in comparison to the Samsung I have in my hand, and this one was a Sony, which is 2011. You can check out the size, the height of the phone, and you can see the side thickness of both the mobile phones. This is the slimmest thing that which Apple has done it now with the Apple Air. Sony had done it in 2011 when it was there in India. So this was about 8.4 millimeter in thickness, and my Samsung phone is way thicker than my Sony phone. So it's incredible. The weight is only 117 grams for this device. So this is the pretty part for this phone. And unfortunately the phone was released and currently it has no market price, and this phone is discontinued. So we don't have these mobile phones anymore, and since I said this is only having 300 odd MB of storage, it's a very small storage for this device. So current status is discontinued, and the screen size for this device, it's a 4.2 inch display. The height of the phone is 4.2 inch, and the width of the phone is around, I would say, 2.5 inches. It has a 1 gigahertz of CPU processor, has an 8.5 megapixel of camera, and the Android system is 2.3. So this is incredible. A $750 phone, or a 32,000 Indian rupees of cell phone today. And for modern time Sony smartphones, current prices ranges roughly from 40,000 to 1,30,000 for flagship models. So this is a beauty. This is a retro phone, very old device, and it's incredible. So while it is impossible to count the exact number of slim models launched during that year in 2011, uh, because every cell phone company uh, was defined by a race to create slimmest device, with major players, launching dozens of models that were considered thin by that year's standards. So, uh, and the slim phone that time was regarded, anything less than 10 millimeter was regarded as a slim mobile phone in the year 2011. So anything less than 10 millimeters in width was called a slim phone, and this phone was a 8.4 millimeter during 2011, so it was regarded as a slim cell phone. And this is the beauty of this cell phone, a very slim phone. So there were about a few odd mobile phones during 2011 which was slim. The first one was the Motorola Droid Razr, released in 2011. It was marketed as the slimmest phone. That was a 4G LTE smartphone, was just 7.1 millimeter, which was thinner than this. This phone is 8.4 millimeter, so 4.4 millimeters and 7.1 millimeters was way thicker, but it still feels very premium, and it's very lightweight, very handy for anybody to use this phone. And if I wish these phones, or we had modern cell phones which were sleek and small and lightweight like this, but yet very powerful. I just hope they made new phones equivalent in weight and thickness as this one. But Apple has come with the Apple Air, which is slim, and but the price is a bomb. It's very expensive. So the next phone after Motorola was the Samsung S2. So Samsung S2, a major widely popular flagship phone, which was 8.49 millimeters in thickness, which was the Samsung Galaxy S2. And the third phone was the Samsung Infuse 4G, which was advertised as one of the Samsung's thinnest, measuring 8.99 millimeters. As you see, this one is pretty sleek, it's pretty small. You can see it's very thin. The phone is very thin. This was there in 2011, very thin phone. And then came this one, which is the Sony Experia Arc, and it was highlighted for its slim design, measuring only roughly 8.4 at its thinnest part, right in the middle over there. So total market impact in India alone was over 650 mobile devices, which featured the 3G phone shipments, which is about 18 million units back then. So 18 million devices of these thin smartphones landed in the year 2011, which is incredible. And I must say, it has a camera. This phone had a camera of 8.1 megapixels, rear camera equipped with Sony Experia Arc for mobile back illuminated sensor. So this thing had a back illuminated sensor, and it was a bright 2.4 aperture lens. It utilized a 28 millimeter equivalent focal lens designed for high quality and low light photography, offering sharp images with a good contrast. So this lens was really beautiful. It gave you good Sony colors. It was a very thin, very small diameter, 28 millimeter focal length, and it had a very good low light efficiency for photography, offering sharp images with good contrast, good colors. And this phone used a CMOS sensor. So this was a CMOS sensor which was back illuminated. So a back illuminated CMOS sensor was something special, and the focal length was 28 megapixel, as I said, which was incredible for this kind of a device back in the year 2011. So this was really incredible. The video capability of this phone was 720 pixels of high definition recording, and I have some old videos recorded from this device on my old YouTube channel, which is running about 18 plus years old channel. And I'm using this new channel because of some technical issues and old settings which are there on the channel which I had since 2011. So I'm using this one, the new channel, to talk about this Sony Experia Arc high definition mobile device. And the demo recordings for this phone, for this camera, are available on my old YouTube channel. If you want to see samples of the great videos it took, are still available on another channel which is called the Shining Views, if you want to check out. And the camera had good features like autofocus, it had a LED flash, it had touch focus, it had image stabilization. So image stabilization was something special about this phone, because back in the year 2011 none of the phones were capable of image stabilization. So if you went horizontal filming like this, so image stabilization was very important. So LED flash was working well, the touch focus was fantastic. The Exmor R sensor was a key highlight of this device, designed to improve the low light performance by moving the camera's light sensors in front of the device, and allowing for, and it allowed a better photos in dimly lit environments. So that is the beauty of this cell phone. So it had a low light capability for low light pictures. It had a very good video mode for your portrait or landscape uh, video recording. The device was very handy, very nice, and the Sony lovers really appreciated a device like this back in the year 2011. So coming back to the lens construction, uh, while primarily referred to as a fast lens, this was a fast lens. Technically it was a bright lens, and the photos came out well. It had a small lens with a good flash, and the back cover was really smooth, and it flashed with the body really well. The design was really curvy, so it was really fantastic device to own this phone. And it featured high quality 8.1 megapixel camera on the back with Exmor R for mobile for your mobile, capable of 720 megapixel of high definition recording. This was the Sony Ericsson. You can see it's a Sony Ericsson. So the video calling, because there was no front facing camera, the video calling via Skype had to be done using the rear camera since there's no front camera over here. So the video calling via Skype had to be done from the rear camera back in the year 2011. So if I were on a Skype call, I did not have a front camera. I had to rotate my phone and just like this use the lens towards me, and I had to just focus towards me, keep myself in the frame. And so Skype calls had to be done using the rear camera, which made it difficult to frame the shot because I can't see myself actually if the lens is not in the front. So the lens was at the back, so I had to